Welcome to channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your registered migration agent. Today, as per request from one of the viewer, wanted to know more about how a New Zealand citizen or New Zealand passport holder could actually become a permanent resident of Australia. Now, this has a two-way to do it, and today I would like to take you through numbers of information from the Department of Immigration's website and also to the state government's website to actually show you how one who hold a passport of New Zealand could actually become a permanent resident of Australia. So let's jump into it. Okay, now this is the website of Department of Home Affairs, which is the Immigration and Citizenship. As you can see, let me just magnify a little bit larger. It's under the Skilled Independent Visa subclass 189. It's a New Zealand stream. So let's go from button up. Now if we go down here, obviously it says you don't have any visa being cancelled or previous being refused. Obviously this is more about the character, so you don't have any imprisonments or any fine or any debts that you haven't been paid to Australian government, as you can see here, and obviously sign the Australian value statement, which is basically saying I agree to what the Australian community and society is all about. It's a multicultural, blah blah blah. Now the meat is here. Live in Australia for 5 years. So at the time of your lodgement, you have to prove that you have been in Australia for at least 5 years, and where it will have a test of usual resident, as you can see here, where you need to prove that physical residence, so probably more about rental, lease, bank account detail, telephone bills and things like that can prove that you have been living in Australia for 5 years. And again, you need to meet the character requirements and health requirement. That shouldn't be much of an issue. Have this visa. What does it mean? So basically a New Zealand passport holder under the Tasman agreement between Australia and New Zealand, you automatically get a New Zealand special category subclass 444 visa, unless you have other visas. So it does provide options for other visas or bridging visa, blah blah blah. So over these 5 years you're required to have these visa. Obviously without visa you can't stay or live in Australia. Now the final piece of elements here will be the satisfying of income requirements. So what does that mean? That basically meant the 5 years that you're living here prove that you have physical presence in Australia. You will require to have what they call notice of assessment. What does that mean? That means you have been working, you have been employed, and you have been paying taxes to the Australian Taxation Office. So as you can see here, and for each of the 4 completed financial year. So meaning that you have been living here for 5 years. So obviously they allow you the first year to go seek for job and things like that, and the next 4 years you have to be full-time employed, working here and obtaining notice of assessment for 4 years and lodge it to the Department of Immigrations, and that's how you actually can get a subclass 189, which is a permanent residency visa for Australia. Now, so that's one way. Now, a second way that we're gonna look into is a different. So some people may not be here to actually just to work here. Some people are more entrepreneurial. They came to Australia and start a business and do whatever the business that's obviously the business has to be lawful and legal, and with that chances you could be meeting the criteria to become a permanent resident as well. So how would this type of people to get permanent residency? So obviously let's go into this type of visa. So it's under subclass 888. It's the with the naming of Business Innovation and Investment Permanent Visa. So you don't have to go through the provisional one. You can go and get a straight permanent residency here. So as you can see, if we go under this, the AAA business innovation stream, where it does provide ability here to, where do we see have this visa? Okay, here we go. So remember when we talked about how New Zealand passport holders or New Zealand citizen under the Tasman agreement between Australia and New Zealand, when you come to Australia, you automatically get what they call subclass 444 visa, special category visa. So as long as you hold this visa and you conduct a business which is a successful business in Australia, you will be eligible to lodge this 888 subclass and to become a permanent residency. So basically, business innovation stream requires you to have a business in Australia which is a successful business, and it's assessed first of all by the state government. So let me get you into the state government's criteria, then you have to look how you could actually meet these criteria. Now, the only what I'm going to take you is to the Queensland state government's website. So here it does matches what we have been looking at, which is the AAA visas. So state government have to nominate you. So under the Queensland scheme, let's look into here. As you can see, you can be a holder of 1AA visa or a special category visa of subclass 444, which is the New Zealand citizen special category visa. So we can discuss all these, and I believe I have discussed all this previously for a business innovation visa, but the detail is here, very tiny, and it's only one sentence. Let me magnify that. So basically, as a New Zealander on a special category visa, provide evidence of minimum of 200,000 invested in one or two main business which is established in Queensland, and that's solely it. But I understand for the Department of Immigration's assessment provided before to be approved and granted, obviously you're required to show that business has been successful. You can't literally just dump 200,000 into whatever and then failed. But usually, reasonably, common sense, no one would do that anyway. So that provides you a very quick and simple solution and two options for a New Zealand citizen to actually become a citizen, permanent resident of Australia. So bear in mind, it's only a PR, it's only a permanent residency of Australia. It's not Australian passports. So a lot of people get confused here. So and that's another reason why a lot of New Zealand citizens, they could not even bother to actually lodge for permanent residency of Australia, because they still hold that special category 444 visa. Now the only difference between permanent residency and a 444 visa will be, I believe, will be access of the Centrelink, which a couple years ago has been dramatically changed there. So if your age is considerably older and you may have family, then you may consider. But obviously, if you have family, your child or kids may already obtain permanent residency of Australia or passport Australia. So there's an option there. If you do have any questions or query, you're more than welcome to leave a comment here. And if you do like our video, please go to our Facebook page and give us a like and thumbs up, and also press the subscription button on our YouTube channel, and also plus the little bell on the side. So once we got all the news and updates, you will be the first one to get it. Thank you.